Hey there, Internet. It's Steezy, back at it again with another story about how retarded I was. Um, Today, I guess I'm not really telling one story about something that happened within a day, rather, a week of my life, of which I would consider hitting rock bottom. And I got a little pipe going. I have not quit smoking at night yet, and I figure, light up before I quit for the sake of the tradition of these videos. So, fucking cheers or whatever. I'm pretty zooted right now, by the way. I've been, like, smoked for like 18 hours or something. And, yeah, so hitting rock bottom. Now, what did that look like for me? I know people that hit a rock bottom that was way lower than mine was, and they're still at that bottom. But, like, for me, as the polyaddict that I was doing heroin for about a month and Xanax for like about a year at this point. Like without quitting. I've been on Xanax for a lot longer than that, but I'd been on it without getting off of it for like literally a year. And I was like really, you know, dependent on the drugs I was doing. Like I had a whole routine. I would do oxys and codeine during the day so that I wasn't just nodding off all day. And I would like pop, a ladder in the morning, pop an oxy in the morning. It, I had 80s at the time. That was the only time I ever got 80s. Um, Oxy 80s. Now let me say that I was doing heroin, and that shit still hit pretty hard. And then I would drink codeine. So like Oxy 80s, you may as well just be doing heroin in my opinion. But anyways, um, except for heroin is like way cooler, but not in the way that makes it more addictive, in the way where it's like psychedelic and you kind of like when you nod off you kind of like go into these different worlds. I don't know how to explain it better than that, but anyways, so to start off this week, I was trapping hard, allegedly. You know, uh, and I was selling way too many things that were really fucking bad for people. And so was my buddy, my teammate at the time, Mark, in the past stories of these videos, um, allegedly. Let's say alleged, not admitting to that, uh, just making this up. But he gets fucking raided by the police. Um, and like I thought he was fucked. I thought he was gonna go to juvie and then go to prison, which like really fucked me up because I was kind of the guy that got him into all that, and I never really like faced the same level of consequence he did. Um, that still fucks me up a little bit, to be honest, but it really fucked me up when it happened. It was like, fuck, man. Like, God, I was so mad at the world, at the police. Um, I thought I had the moral high ground in what I was doing at the time because I sold legit product and I didn't sell it for like high markups. I had cheaper prices than everybody, which by the way could have like totally put a number on my head at some point. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? I would try to, like care about the addicts I was selling drugs to, as crazy as that is to say. So I would spend my money and or trade drugs or whatever, um, to get Narcan and like fucking like clean needle supplies and shit like that. And so I thought I had the moral high ground, and I thought Mark had the moral high ground. And so I like I was like pissed. My argument was like, I know fucking 10 fentanyl addicts around here right now, and I know fucking 50 people selling fake carts. Like, and I know fucking 30 guys that are selling fake ecstasy. Like, why are you not getting them? Why are you targeting me and my fucking team? Like, and I still feel this way a little bit. I don't think I have the moral high ground anymore. I do in not moral high ground, but I do have like leverage in this situation where like I was providing a service that was keeping people alive while everybody else is fucking killing people. So like the addicts that knew me could come to me because my shit was just as cheap as the fake shit was, and it was not fucking like I didn't sell drugs to make money. You know what I mean? Um and like yeah, like I was like, we look out for these fucking kids. If these kids didn't know us, they'd be dead by now. Like, fuck you for arresting us. You know what job we're doing for society right now? Um, and yeah, and so and I was deep in drug addiction and, on Adderall too all the time, Coke all the time, um, it's just all the drugs, weed, LSD, shrooms, fucking 2CB, Molly. I was doing it all. I was literally doing it all. And I was losing my mind. Like, in a way that I hadn't before. I'd gone complete schizo mode with LSD trips and, like, had really traumatic experiences with salvia and, like, high doses of mushrooms or ketamine that, like, fucked with me after for a long time, in the sense that I wasn't like really understanding what reality was anymore for a period of time. But I never like I never got this fucked up like I did from the withdrawal and the combination of all the drugs that I was doing all the time. um yeah, hold up, give me a sec. So anyways, Mark gets raided, and I'm not really hearing from him. I'm really worried about him and whatever. um and 2 days later. Okay, so something else I should have mentioned earlier is that Mark also, like, the night before that happened. So this was rock bottom for Mark, by the way, too. Like, Mark hit rock bottom right before I did. And a part of what made my rock bottom was that Mark hit his rock bottom. Um, yeah. And so, like, I fucking Man, I fucked up there. I don't think he cares, so I don't know if that will like legally matter. Hopefully not. Fucking nobody sees this anyways. Um, yeah, he also like knocked like fucking four of his teeth out or something, and like broke a couple other ones, and um like got like one of the most severe concussions I've seen. I think he still has like such like long lingering memory issues, and like the he can't process the world sometimes. Like he'll just be saying something and then completely forget what happened, and I have that too, but I have it like he has it on a level like that I've only seen in like fucking dementia ridden old people. I think it might be getting better, so hopefully that sense that yeah, Mark really hit his rock bottom and was like popping way too many Xannies the night that he knocked his teeth out the day before or the night before maybe. Uh, he got raided. I think it must have been the day before because he was like he was conscious when the police got there and like respectful and everything. Um, it, he popped like 50 Zans or something, or more than that maybe. He popped literally like more than half a seal. So yeah, like 55 something like that Zans in one night, 2 milligram bars. People say you can overdose on Xanax, and I think that's only if you combine it with other drugs, especially alcohol. Like if you combine it with alcohol, you can absolutely just choke on your vomit and die. But I don't believe that you can overdose on Xanax alone because I've seen Mark. Fuck. I should just call him Matt at this point. I've seen Matt fucking like do that before, man, and he like if anyone was gonna die from doing that, he would have done it. Like I never got. I think maybe the most I ever took in a night was like 8 or something. Yeah. And I was a heavy drug addict, like, and especially for Xanax. I was a heavy bar tart. And like I probably like maybe 12 or something like that is the most I ever took in one night. He took like fucking 55. Like what the fuck, dude? Yeah, so you can't don't you try stay away, but you can't overdose on it. There's no way. I've seen him literally, like, unless you're like eating a gram of it and it's not in pill form, you can't take 2 milligram ladders to the point where you die. Like, you would have to like eat like 500 of them at once because Matt fucking did that shit. Um, yeah. So yeah, he hit rock bottom, and then a couple days later, I'm like going through it and like fucking posting on Telegram, being a moron, and being extremely anxious about the Illuminati and about the feds and about all of that shit. And here, let me take a hit. And um, I had a really rough night. I was getting really into boxing at the time, and I was being overly violent compared to the person that I normally am, which is very not violent. Um, like I was punching fucking anything. Like that fucking video of the idiot kid that's like, nobody's gonna fuck with a dude that punches metal for fun. Like I was like punching trees and shit, like breaking the shit out of my hands. But like it is true that if you just keep punching shit, eventually it doesn't hurt anymore, and you can like punch harder than anyone that hasn't ever trained to do that. Um, I was really into Mike Tyson and like fucking Muhammad Ali and shit, and so I was just boxing all the fucking time if I had the energy for it. And my dad told me that my sister had to like stay at a friend's house because they were afraid that I was gonna like fuck her up or something. And to me, that was like the sign, like I was thinking I'm going to go to prison either way. Like my parents don't actually want me here, and now I'm like causing actual problems for my sister, and like they all are afraid of me. That was the sign to kill myself. And my plan was, and I had this plan for years, because I had visited the bridge many times, and it was a really beautiful sight, and it's a really thrilling experience to go on like the undercage and the pillars and shit, and if you know what you're doing, you can do that. And I've only ever done it on my own, but I fucking it's a fun time. It's like a 50-minute drive, but it's fucking sick, dude. It's like I think it's the second tallest bridge in America, but maybe it's like the second tallest bridge in California or something. I'm pretty sure it's the tallest bridge in California. But the Forest Hill Bridge, which is like not that far away from where I lived, um is like was where I was going to kill myself if I was going to do that. I don't think I ever will anymore, but that was my plan for a long time. I had had a couple suicide attempts before that, one during Adderall withdrawal in 6th grade, and then one where I ate like a bunch of poison. But then I told my parents, and they fucking took me to the hospital and got poison control. And like, obviously, they were gonna fucking save me. Like, I literally ate it and then told my parents. Like, I was full of shit that day. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't actually want to do it. But this day, I did want to do it. And so my plan was, anyways, sorry, I'm rambling. Uh, I'm gonna fucking go out, go fishing, go hiking, go to my favorite nature trail, and like go to my favorite, fucking restaurant, and just like get what I want before, like, do what I love and what is beautiful in my life that is so unmanageable and so insane at this point. And I'm just gonna go do that, smoke a bunch of weed, like pop some Zans, whatever. And then I'm gonna go do it at the bridge. I'm gonna go kill myself. And my dad didn't have context for that. He wasn't like, oh, Mason's plan is to go kill himself at the bridge today. Like, I fucking wasn't there at the house any day. Like, I would go show up in the middle of the night to sleep sometimes, and then I would leave and go hang out. Like, I was never there. But for whatever reason, and this sort of divinity I recognize as God, I don't want to put that on my channel very much, but it was a very like big moment for me because it was, later reflecting upon it, was a big moment for me and my dad because he was just fucking there. He was at the bridge. Like, what the fuck? Like, he knew to go there for whatever reason that day. When I got there in the afternoon, he was already there, and like, I walked and saw him, and it was fucking wild. I like broke out into emotion and tears because I knew I wasn't gonna do it. And I was actually like really angry at the world for that. And my dad didn't even understand what was going on at the time, but like I explained to him like some of what was going on that night, like throwing a fucking fit or whatever. Um, it like, yeah, like chased me down. Um, and I'm just like fucking so angry, like, and I drove off, but I didn't kill myself, um, which is incredible. You know what I mean? Like those types of coincidences don't happen, like, you know, because just one in a trillion odds and you're the luckiest guy on earth. Like, it's also that was God, bro. Like, whatever made my dad go there. Um, yeah. Uh, I understand that like a lot of people don't get that divinity, so maybe I am just the luckiest guy on earth. But yeah. So that happens, and I'm going through like crazy withdrawal, And then the next night after um, trying to kill myself, I hit a big lick on a bunch of alcohol. Like I stole like fucking 6 bottles of vodka or something like that. Um, and I at the time was planning on mixing it with the Xanax, but then I had a night where I was on Xans and alcohol, and I did some ketamine. And for whatever reason, this rail of ketamine, like, and this, like, video of David Goggins I stumbled upon, like, and this video of Mike Tyson I stumbled upon, like, made me create this delusional state in my mind where I decided that I didn't want to do Xanax anymore and that I didn't need it anymore. That's what I was literally like repeating in my head over and over and over again the next day after this ketamine rail. It's like, I don't need it. 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 I don't need it anymore. You know what I mean? Um, and like that was a delusional thing to think because I'd been on it for like a fucking year, and I was thinking, oh, I'll just drink some alcohol. Like I'll just drink alcohol, be drunk all day, and that way I won't have a seizure. Like because Xanax causes seizures and so does alcohol. And they're both central nervous system drugs, so alcohol should work. And so I was drinking like a fucking madman all day. Smoking hella dabs, hella weeds, fucking going in on everything. And 2 days in, um, I made it. Like I was like whatever I was doing was working. I think I had probably popped like maybe a half bar at some point between those 2 days, but I had like done so much less than I had. And then the third day, I didn't drink as much alcohol. And maybe I did. I don't know. I don't really remember what happened, but I had a fucking seizure. Um, and I hadn't taken any Xanax that day. So it was from withdrawal. Uh, but, I pass out. I don't know what happened, but apparently I only had like 2 minutes left. My lips were purple and like I was like completely foaming out of my mouth. And I like woke up from that or whatever. They had like stood me up on my bed or something. And so I wake up and there's a bunch of paramedics in the room, but they were dressed in like kind of like darker clothing. I don't know if it's normal paramedic clothing, but to me they looked like cops, and I was extremely paranoid about cops. So I was like, "These are cops." They didn't have badges like police badges, but like I just thought they were cops, and my initial reaction was, "Oh, so you guys are just here to ruin my life?" That's the first thing I said to a bunch of paramedic EMTs that like literally had just saved my life. I was like, "Oh wait, so you guys just here to ruin my life, huh?" Yeah, okay, that's what it is. You're just here to tear me down. Like I was such a moron, dude. Yeah. Um, that's still like a really interesting moment to me, and like makes me feel stupid, but also it's funny. Um, and they're like, "No, we're fucking paramedics. Like we need to get you in an ambulance, asshole." Like, and I explained to them that I was going through Xanax withdrawal, like I had stopped taking it. Um, and yeah, like fuck. I go in the ambulance. I don't really remember being at the hospital that much for some reason, but I remember being in the ambulance, and they gave me like Librium, which felt good. So I was like, oh, chilling. Um, and I was like talking to the guy about like his job and shit. And I was like apologizing and shit like that. I was like, I hate to waste your guys' time like this. And they were like, no, dude, you almost died. Like, this is not a waste of time at all. It was like, yeah, but I shouldn't have done this. Like, like, um, and yeah, and that, that seizure allowed me to get prescription medication to get off of Xanax. So I got prescribed gabapentin and Librium. And I think I probably did bars like another time after that day. And I remember having like a particularly shitty time for some reason, and like I going to the toilet and I just couldn't piss like at all. Couldn't even like, and I really had to pee. And I was like leaning in different ways, usually like if I had put pressure on my bladder and leaned and like kind of stood up or whatever, like, or kicked my leg out, I could get the piss out. But I just couldn't. Like I couldn't even piss. And I was like, I'm not gonna ever fucking do this shit again. I'm gonna commit to the fucking. I did end up doing Xanax again. That's a different story for a different day. But clean now, and have been for a while. Yeah, I did relapse after that. Um, yeah, that day I was like, fuck this shit. I'm never gonna do it again. And I didn't for like a year or something until I relapsed again. Um, and that was huge for me. And I was also doing heroin, um, which I also got off of at the same time. Um, yeah. So the heroin was like, honestly, way easier to quit. Like, the way I remember that going through that, like, um, I also got prescribed, not Subutex, but the, or I had it or something. No, it was Subutex. I got prescribed Subutex as well. And, like, as soon as I got that, I was chilling with the heroin. I was like, fucking, this shit's gay, bro. Like, I was really, like, fiending for Xans. Like, um, but with this, when I was on the subs, like, like the withdrawal from the Xanax made me so uncomfortable and I have so much energy that I was just constantly, I was fat as fuck when, right before I started this week. And I dropped like most of the weight in like a couple of months just by like running fucking hard and fasting and like just punching the shit out of the punching bag, like, oh, over and over and over and over and over, like all fucking day, just punching the shit out of a punching bag, like, and running, and smoking lots of weed, um, and I fucking did it. I got past it, like, and that was rock bottom for me. Like, I've fucking lived out of my car up until a couple days ago. Um, I got like a new job now. That's why I had to shave the mustache. But yeah, like fucking, like I've had like really shitty situations happen to me and like made really poor decisions since that happened, but it doesn't even compare to that week of hell I went through. And yeah, I think this has been a really long one. It's going to take forever to upload this, so I should probably call it. Um, I just wanted to get into this because I think it's interesting. And I think a piece of advice I would share regarding this is if you're not going to change, then don't hold yourself from like fucking hitting rock bottom as long as you're not going to kill yourself. Like fucking if you're going to do all the drugs you're addicted to anyways, like fucking go for it, dude. Like do it until it fucking shows you how terrible that fucking world is and you fucking hit that rock bottom. Cuz if you don't hit rock bottom, you're not going to have the like motivation to spark the discipline that you have to develop in order to get off of that shit. And I think that's why so many addicts like realistically stay on the drugs they do for so long is like when meth addicts stay on meth or whatever, it's like fucking meth is still sick and like I could still like go out and geek and then like fucking collect a bunch of copper and recycling and like fuck a crazy bitch and have the greatest splooge of my life. And like, yeah, I'm fucking homeless and my teeth are gone, but like, this shit is awesome. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't hit their rock bottom yet. Like, for them, that's a manageable life and it's worth it, you know? Like, to me, like, the drugs I was doing at the time was worth it. It was worth doing. Once it wasn't worth doing, I didn't want to fucking do it anymore. And it took a while to like, fucking get through that because your body becomes so dependent and addicted and your mind becomes so dependent and addicted to and get so used to it so quick with drugs. Like once you genuinely your soul recognizes that it doesn't benefit you in the ways that you want it to anymore, you won't want to do it anymore. Obviously you'll get cravings later on, but when you hit that rock bottom, dude, like you're not gonna want to fucking, you're gonna want to be clean, even if you're not. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be like, oh fuck being clean. I'm just gonna be high for the rest of my life. You think like, oh, I gotta make a fucking change now or I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? So like, I'm gonna disappoint my entire family. Like, I'm gonna fail everybody in my life. My friends are gonna like see me as like a sad story, you know. Fuck that. Um, but yeah, like my point being like, if you're holding yourself from rock bottom, may as well just fucking hit it, dude. Because once you do, there's no excuses left. Um, and that week unironically was one of the best things to ever happen to me, despite being such a difficult thing to go through and such a fucking like I wouldn't wish that upon anybody, and I don't think I unless I hit rock bottom again for some reason, the person I am now couldn't have gotten through that. Like, I genuinely didn't give two fucks about, like, you could fucking, like, hit me with a baseball bat, and I'd be like, yeah, fucking, let's go, you know? Like, that was how, like, crazy and driven I was to not be on that shit. Yeah. Yeah, so that's my story of hitting rock bottom. I've heard ones that are much worse. Um, for me, that was the limit. I was also, I almost fucking killed myself. Um, and yeah, if you're fucking up your life slowly, do it faster. Don't- but if you're fucking up your life with coke, don't be like, oh, I'm gonna start doing fucking heroin or fentanyl instead because I need to hit rock bottom faster. Like, don't do something that's like gonna kill you, but fucking hit that rock bottom, dude. Like go for it. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't fucking be an idiot. Don't die. Keep yourself safe, but also keeping yourself content with bad circumstance just to keep doing things that are ruining your soul. Uh, it's a very stupid thing to do, but so many people do it anyways. Life is very hard to cope with, and drugs solve that temporarily, and then eventually they don't. Anyways, this is a 36-minute long video. If you somehow made it to here, um, please leave a like and perhaps share something if you feel like it. Yeah. Anyways, I need to go to bed. I have work fucking 7 a.m. tomorrow, so have a good one.